10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Hey there, everybody. How's it going? My name's KonceptioN2. If you want to introduce yourself as my commentator.
I'm SMP.
Hey, welcome. This is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's / Philosopher's Stone, depending on where you live. It's Philosopher's Stone everywhere besides America, of course, but we're going to be running the any % category. Really fun run. This is a very different run from most Harry Potter games that you'll see. This is a turn-based RPG as opposed to, your typical action / platformers in the series. So we'll be getting started. We'll be talking about some new tech and stuff we discovered this week as we go along. But SMP is going to be taking over most of the run-based chat. So.
Oh yeah. So.
All right. So whenever we are ready, we're going to start the countdown here. 3, 2, 1, go.
Right. So first things first is we are going to be getting a potion in both Gringotts, but also in an alleyway after we get our wand from Ollivander's. But we need to be extra safe in this one, so we're getting 2 potions as opposed to the normal 1 before we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, Ollivander looks like a garden gnome in this game. It took some artistic license. It's supposed to be based more off the book than it is the movies, I think. So there's some artistic license that goes into some of these sprites. You'll see.
But we do have the special privilege of casting spells outside of school. Even though we're technically not even supposed to know them, they just come automatically equipped for a wand. So we don't actually have to know the spells, apparently.
No, we do not.
So here we're going to pick the green deck, the Gregory deck. This is because we're going to be picking up a specific card combo that you'll see later on, which we will use to beat, 6 fights after the new routing? Or 7? Yeah,
6, sometimes 7, depends on our snakes. We might use them for snakes depending on what we get. I was a little habitual to the old route there, but we got there.
Yeah.
Almost went in the bookstore. Didn't need to do that yet.
Yeah, because, for 143 staples, I think we're at 0 at the moment.
Yeah.
So we grabbed the potion down here by the bookstore. We're going to be using the long one, or we're getting in Gringotts in just a second. Never go talk to Haggard. Fingerpook, who will take us into the back. This is not a PC port. This is actually on the Game Boy Color edition played on the Game Boy player for the GameCube. So we fall in Gringotts and we actually get to go by ourselves and get the random encounters. We'll be pausing every now and then so we don't actually hit encounters before the big boss. And we'll be even more precautious about encounters after the boss fight, because we cannot lose that boss fight once we need the boss fight to be the last encounter before we start actually doing it. We also make a safety save so that, of course, if we die, we can reset.
Alright, let's see how graceful they want to be with us.
This is always jokingly said as the final boss of the run.
It's the final boss of most attempts, that's for sure.
Most certainly. So, hopefully this goes a lot better than the average run.
Well, luckily we got the 2 potions if things go really south, so
exactly.
Make it work. I think I'm going to use one there just to be safe.
Also, you'll see that we're actually skipping the enemy turn. This is a strat. It's called attack skip. It'll be referred to as EAS for the duration of the run. It is very simple as we skip an enemy turn. It's a buffer between using a potion and fleeing, where it's like I think it's a 90 to 100 frame or 1.5 second. It's a 2-second frame window where we can actually press A or B to skip the enemy's turn.
Alright, we're going to be a little extra cautious here.
Super safe.
Yeah, we're going to play things real safe. Alright, that's fine. Oof, that was close.
Dodging a counter is very important at this point in time. So we need to keep this boss fight as the last fight we actually ever did. Because otherwise there'll be... There's an important reason why it actually has to be the last thing we do. We'll see if we get onto the train.
Alright, we're good. Alright, now the run really starts, because most of the time we're resetting before that point. So.
Oh, yeah. So, now we're going to be going around and buying all the necessary items. Pretty cool.
Yep, clearing out our shopping list. It's the only time we'll go in any sort of shops in the run. We used to have one other shopping point in the run, but due to a new glitch we found actually earlier this week, we were able to take it out of the run completely. So just got to get the necessary items to fulfill our school list, and that's all.
Fortunately, we don't have to deal with as much stuff as we used to back in the day.
Yeah, it's been it's getting more and more refined, this route.
This run used to be completely tedious back in the day. Good lord. I'm glad that at least this part is simplified.
Right.
I love this new frog, the chocolate frog glitch though.
Yeah, this is the new tech we were mentioning that we were able to accomplish. Basically, we were a tester in our community was able to find that if while eating a chocolate frog, if instead of pressing A to clear it, if we hold left and A, we can eat it as many times as we want, and it'll give us just basically unlimited amounts of witches and wizards cards, which we'll need for card combos later on.
Everything else is just, like I said, buying everything we need for school. So, kind of uncertain why we do certain things, but...
Yeah, this game has a whole system of you being able to equip, you know, clothes, robes, hats, gloves, and the only thing we do in this game in the entire run is equip one set of gloves, and that's it.
This is really the only important thing to have equipped is because it helps skip one fight.
Yep, it skips one fight. If we didn't have to do that fight, we wouldn't wear any other equipment at all to buff us. We don't need it.
So, since we actually were able to get out of Gringotts with Rat Fight as the last fight, we will be duplicating a fight in the train. And this is where the first major glitch of the run comes in. So after we dupe the fight, we're actually going to talk to this person. We don't actually put the text box. We talk to him 3 times. It changes the color palette to this blue color. And then we talk to him 3 more times, which changes the flag. And we talk to Neville so that we can actually start talking to other people. And we talk to this guy up in the window to another flag. And then we talk to this guy sitting down 4 times to actually get out of the train. So what does all this accomplish exactly? Well, we're going to be getting a very glitched boss fight coming up in just a minute, which takes us from level 2 to level 90.
Yeah, level 90, then we dupe it again to level 99 on our level cap.
This game is not at all broken.
Yeah. Totally normal.
This is
level
completely
capped within the first 10 minutes. Yeah.
This is completely by the developers. We did come to grip with games actually after the run was even started. Confirmed. So the only thing that can be bad about this frog fight is the frog can poison you multiple times. And actually stacks in this game, which can kill very quickly because it goes from 20 to 30 to 40. And considering you only got 73 health going into the fight, it's not always a good thing.
I'm just gonna play this lake extra safe too. It doesn't really ruin anything in the run beyond just slowing us down, but we're trying to go fast, so might as well be extra safe.
Yeah, this is the second. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of horrible parts in this run. Like the beginning was all terrible, then the middle was like very calm.
Yeah.
And then it's like
the good. Yeah, the good thing about it is that this run is really easy to get into. We're actually trying to get a lot more active runners because this run is really fun. There's not a lot of things that will outright destroy your run when you're playing this game, which is good. But there are a lot of things that can slow you down. There's only one, the glitch that we just did, the frog glitch, is the only thing that will make you have to reset, that you cannot continue going forward. But everything else is just, if you miss a trick or you miss a glitch, it just slows you down, but you could still finish a run if you wanted to.
I think
it's not the end of the world.
I think Lake is by far one of the worst things in this game.
Yeah.
I think Lake is probably the absolute worst thing they probably put in this game.
Yeah, it's absolutely brutal.
Basically just pause.
Yeah, to kind of describe what was happening there, obviously we were going from one end of the lake to the other to get to the castle. You saw me pause a ton there after the frog fight. Basically, when you pause in this game, there's a lot that you can do to reset the enemy locations, and so instead of me trying to sit there, I just hit one anyway, you'll see that in a second, but instead of me trying to dodge all of these encounters, what I'm doing is I'm pausing, resetting their location, and then just continuing on because it's a little bit easier that way.
But something that's very about this game and trying to get through the pausing is that in this game, unlike the sequel to this, is that pausing right in front of an encounter does not always make it move. It still sometimes will stay right in front of you, and it's really annoying. And this game also has a super nasty habit of encounters spawning right in front of you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. It killed one of the hardest tricks in the entire run, which won't see for quite a while, but hopefully we can get it.
Yeah, hopefully we can get it somewhat quickly. That's all I'm really worried about.
As long as we can get it within 2 or 3 tries, we're fine. After that, it starts to get really, really bad.
It does.
It kills runs.
But we'll make it work. Yeah, it kills runs. Won't kill this run. Just just add a little extra time, but that's okay.
Yeah. And we'll get into it when we actually get there, because I'll have the liberty of describing it, since it's something that I found for everybody that's running the game.
Yeah, for better or worse, you were the one who discovered that glitch, so. Well, this is a nice little cutscene here, so if there was anything, if anyone from BSG wanted to say anything about donations or anything like that, would be a great time right now.
Well, we don't have any donations at this point, but I can tell a little bit about the donation incentives. Because
let's hear about
this. Within 2 hours or something like that, we have started Drake's Fortune, and you guys get to choose which voice we are gonna use. At the moment, it's a tie between French and so. Do you want Wee or do you want Dutch, which I'm not going to talk? Then you only need to donate €1 because both of them are at €5. But there are also other languages like Italian, German, or basically the language that we talk doing this in English. So if you want one of those, you can donate for that. If you don't have a lot of money to spend for, if you have only €1 to spend, you can actually snipe donation incentives for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, because the Barbaro that we do and the Ginger name don't have any donations set to it yet, so only €1 is in to snipe that at the moment.
Terrific. Yeah, we want to definitely get those donation incentives in. I'm a Pokemon speedrunner as well, so I know that Diamond and Pearl and Araya is a fantastic runner as well, so we want to get those donos in as much as we can. What we're doing now, basically, we're just getting all the way up to the top of the castle, which is where the Gryffindor common room is. On the way, we stop in 2 other classrooms just to grab a couple of herbs, which we'll need for our herbology class later on, but nothing else of note, really. I'm gonna hit that. Yep, I knew I was going to.
It's a very straightforward section of the run, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Just make the talk to Nick.
Yes, thank you for the reminder. I'm notorious for forgetting to do that, but I feel like in a marathon run, I'm like hyper focused on it. You know what I mean? I can't forget it.
I just have to make sure.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you looking out. Appreciate you. Yeah, we'll see here. We get to have a conversation with Nearly Headless Nick, which I am famous for doing at least once in my attempts in my stream. I will forget to talk to him once, which just wastes a lot of time. Most of the time, I'll end up resetting just because I'm good for it once a stream. Basically, I'll forget to do it. All right, so yeah, we're gonna head back down, all the way back down to the ground floor here. Yeah, so basically what we're doing now is we got all the way up to the top of the Gryffindor tower. We talked to the portrait of the fat lady, who is the guardian of the Gryffindor common room, basically. She told us that we don't know the password, so we can't get in. We're basically on a mini fetch quest to get the password from Nearly Headless Nick. He needs a tie to keep his head on straight. Just all that's going on at the moment.
There's a lot of random
nice
fetch quests in this run.
Yep, just a lot of little random mini things we have to do to progress the story. So. And the hitbox on corners.
Oh my lord, yeah.
Alright. I remembered to talk to him.
Good. That's very important. The run dies, basically, if you don't do that.
An attempt will die. Yes. An attempt will die. It'll just waste me going up and down stairs, which nobody wants to see anyway.
Wasted many.
All right.
Wasted a mini attempt for you.
Yeah. All right, and voila, we've made it.
This is still the one thing I'm not used to in this card combo from the guy coming up.
Yeah, I can talk a lot about that easy. So we talked a little bit earlier about that infinite card glitch that we do with the chocolate frogs. That is very new tech, less than a week old. We discovered it earlier this week. A part of that, which is going to help us save time, is we're going to get a card combo that we never got before in previous versions of this route, called Rain of Bludgers, and it's basically like an AoE card combo that lets us destroy, well, not destroy necessarily, but lets us damage multiple enemies at once.
It kills them all.
And it kills them all. And it's very useful for particular parts of the run where we have to fight waves of chickens, for example, which will come up, and some other multi-enemy fights.
Are you going to use the grants too? Are you using that at Gringotts too as well?
Yes, yeah, we'll be using it when we return to Gringotts. We'll use it for the chickens fight, and then we're going to be fighting some snakes here in a second. If we get multiple snakes in a fight, we'll use it there too.
And I actually figured out why that section is so laggy where he gives you the card combo. Sankui actually did tell us the game is still trying to process to see if we actually are getting more card combos. And
all right.
So
that makes sense. So it's like trying to. Yeah, it's like a checklist basically. All right. So basically, what's going on here is we're going to run through one class of every one of the classes that Harry takes in his first year of Hogwarts. So we'll be doing potions, flying, herbology, defense against the dark arts, charms, history, magic, things like that. So potions is the first one, and it's usually the most RNG heavy.
I think everybody can agree that potions is probably the least favorite class.
Oh yeah, I would say so. Potions or charms, easy.
Potions, when it comes to everyday runs, will kill tons of attempts because of this very specific fight that we're going to be doing. We have to find a snake that drops snake fangs. Oh, this is a perfect fight. Triple snakes.
Yeah. Now we get to use Rain of Bludgers as well, and that's why we use it. Kills them all at once.
Did we get fangs?
And we got the fangs.
Keep making sure you go through that text box whenever you use the card comp.
Yeah, the easy thing to do is just hold A. Actually, when you press to use the card combo, just hold A until it's over, because then the A, it'll just mash right through it on its own.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Good to know.
Yeah. Alright, so we basically, in Snape's office there, we get 2 ingredients for a potion that we need to make to cure Neville, who just poisoned himself, I think. For some reason, he's brewing potions on the first day of potions class while the rest of us were sitting down.
I would more say blew himself up.
Yeah, blew himself up. So we're basically all we're doing is gathering ingredients for a potion to save Neville's life, or unpoison him or whatever. 2 of them are in Snape's office, adjacent to the classroom. So we get Boomslang skin from the poster of a snake, and then we try to get snake fangs as fast as we can from the snake drops, and then we just have to go to Hagrid's hut to get the beetle.
I mean, technically we can also get snake fangs out on the grounds, but it's actually a worse chance of getting a snake fight on the grounds than in Snape's office. Because in Snape's office there's only 2 enemies that can pop up during potions, whereas 2 on the grounds there's 3 different types of enemies that can spawn. And it's just simpler to do it that way. Saves a lot of time and heartache.
Yes, it does.
Something I wish I'd actually paid attention to when I first started running this game.
Hey, you were one of the OGs though, so yeah, everyone was still figuring everything out at that point.
We didn't know what we were doing. Everything was just basically on the fly. We were like, oh, this looks cool. Let's do that instead.
I'm getting sniped a lot.
That's how you know it's a marathon run.
Yeah, I think this is the 4th time I've been sniped already. That's what we affectionately refer to as getting an encounter basically placed on you, or in a way that you cannot avoid it otherwise.
But as you can still get a snake fight out on the grounds, but it's not really, it's not optimal. Also, this movement you do, the flying, is not what I used to do either. I completely forgot that this way actually went to the Quidditch pitch. For the longest time.
I didn't. When I first started running this game, even we used to go back up and right as well. But another community member found out it's a little bit faster to go this way by like a second. Maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely faster.
Yeah. But this is another. It's an auto-scroller of sorts, but it's not, one of your classic long auto-scrollers. Hopefully.
You actually have to pay attention. It's not just a normal auto-scroller.
Yeah, they come at you fast, these little bushes, so... Alright. Oh, and even so, some of them... That one I could have avoided, but sometimes you get placed in a predicament you can't really avoid a bush.
Like, you're all the way at the bottom, and then there's like 3 sections straight up. And since you're constantly holding right on the thing to be as far forward as possible, you are basically going to get hit by it. Unless you have frame.
That one was okay, though. That went okay. Only hit 1 bush.
It's one of my favorite mini games for the task, actually, because it just zigzags up and down. But
that's task for you.
So that's all flying is. Super simple. Now we go to herbology.
Yeah, and if you, I kind of mentioned it earlier, or if you've been paying attention as well, we've picked up, that was my own fault, I was an idiot there. We picked up some herbs on the way. Basically, herbology is going to be us collecting herbs to finish the class. And we basically collect every herb we need before the class starts, except for one that only activates after the class starts.
I want you to try doing some of the diagonal movement I was talking about the other day.
Oh yeah, I didn't look at it so closely, but I'm trying. There you go. I think that was a little bit better. Wasn't as bad.
Yeah, it was better, and you got some swag movement in it too.
Yeah. Yeah, swag movement. A lot of times, if you press A, like if you like what I did there was I picked up an item on my way in, which was another one of the herbs that we needed. You can press it while you're moving, and then the game will just stop your foot animation, but you'll still move. So it basically looks like you're moonwalking or gliding across the floor, which is what we refer to as swag.
Yeah. Swag movement or glitchy walk, one of the two.
Yeah. Alright. Yep, so we just go pick up that last herb back into the greenhouse, and then herbology is basically done, except we have to go talk to Snape again, unfortunately.
The route for this game has come so far in the 4 years I've been running it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it sure has.
The runs come down a total of, like, what record at the time? Like 40 minutes? So, it's been an interesting ride for this game. But Don't Best has yet to come for the speedrun.
Yeah, we're hopeful. I've been doing a lot with this new technology, not new technology that we found. I've been really trying to grind down the world record. I'm very close to getting it. I'm the second place holder currently. I'm only about 25 seconds off the world record. With this new trick, able to save us like 40 seconds if we can get good RNG up until that point is the problem. But I think with that, the record, which is about almost 4 years old now.
Yes.
Plus with all this new tech, I want to put out some new videos. We're trying to get a lot more people involved in this game just because it's a really fun game. And a lot of people have a heavy nostalgic heart for it, I've found, when talking to people. They know the game or they played it a lot when they were children. And it's really cool to see that there's some excitement building around it. Hopefully we can carry that forward into building the community.
Yeah, so back when this route the original new route was made, I say original new route because there was actually a route before this that actually still used in game time. This uses only RTA. This is for chat because they're asking about the 40-minute reduction in time. The route was very, very and so like you saw us doing dupes at the beginning of the run to have fights come up and duplicate fights. Well, in the original run, we would only dupe 3 fights we'd only dupe 3 times the entire run, and it actually is nowhere near as good of experience as it is now. We would dupe the first rat fight, but it was only used to get off the train early, not to do the glitch boss fight. Then we would duplicate into this last charms, which a lot of people do not like this because it's such a slow mini game coming up.
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
I mean, this is an auto-scroller, quote unquote, but it's just super annoying. But the next 2 classes have fights you have to do, and originally we'd only dupe each of those one time. And we would go into the final area at like, I don't even know what level we'd go in, it was super low. We would rely on power-ups and all that to get magic back to constantly poison Devil's Snare.
Yeah. And then just to kind of backtrack a little bit, so we did our Transfiguration class really fast, which is all we have to do is find a purple rabbit that escaped from the classroom, which is the only reason why we need to pick up gloves. If we don't have gloves on, we have to fight the rabbit in order to capture it. But with the gloves, we can just pick it up.
Do we actually need to have the gloves on to pick up the mandrake root during herbology, or no?
That could be. I don't know for sure.
I think we have to have it for that too. So we have 2 reasons to have it on. But yeah, I also call.
Yep, so we do.
I call a purple rabbit Nidoran male.
Yep, it does look like that.
We're almost done with this mini game. It's such a This is such a horrible mini game for a speedrun.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's random every time, so it's not a pattern that it can be memorized. Unfortunately, so you can mess this up, which is why most of the time I'll actually write down the pattern as it's happening because I don't want to mess it up because it wastes a lot of time if you do. And it's just completely a memory-based game.
Yeah.
To pick up a spell, you don't need it all in the run. So.
Well, we used to use it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you used to.
We used to use it way back when.
Yeah. Back in your day.
Back in the olden days. We actually used to use it during History of Magic to take out the small rats.
Oh, very nice.
So now that we're out of charms, we're going to go to DADA, or Defense Against the Dark Arts. We get poisoned by bees. Kind of annoying. So every couple of steps we take a point of damage. So we just need to get to where we're going as fast as possible, so we can get a book.
Yeah. Yeah. Technically, we do have to get there as fast as possible, but we also have about 800 hit points, so...
Sure.
We're not in a danger of dying, but again, we want to go fast.
Yeah.
So
it used to actually be a problem.
That's the whole point.
You know, back in my day, it actually used to be a problem.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
Just so you know, when you go into this room, you can actually walk a diagonal up right and start moving to the right, and you'll still get hit by the encounter.
Oh, that's good to know. Look at that, learning tips on the fly.
Saves you movement frames.
Well, unfortunately, that fight was very slow because we got a miss on the first hit, so...
Interesting to see you're doing all this major damage. I was doing like 18 to 20 damage back when I was before in the primitive strats.
Yeah, the olden days. Yeah.
I will be constantly joking about back in my day during this run because I find it entertaining.
Yeah.
That fight was a lot harder back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, and even before, like I said, we had some slight changes to the route this past week. But even before, even before that, the route we used previous to the previous route now, that fight used to be a bit longer. But what we did is we duplicate the frog fight that we did in the lake, which already bumps us up to level 90, but then when we duplicate it, it bumps us to level 99, which gives us some extra damage in order to make that fight go a little bit faster. Well, that's one of several fights that ends up going faster, potentially.
I just love how you walked around that dude when you could have very well just kept walking left.
Yeah. I know, that NPC is one of my least favorites. That one and the one in Diagon Alley always give me trouble no matter where. Come on, there we go.
History of Magic. This fight actually used to be kind of scary.
Yeah,
you could actually...
It's so far the opposite.
You could actually die during this fight. But no, not anymore.
Yeah, no. Well, I actually, in a run, because this fight is slightly different now in terms of the moves that we use as well, part of the new route that we discovered this week. But I actually found out while doing the new route one of the times that after you use the Rain of Bludgers combo, if you go to attack the big rat too fast afterwards, you'll soft lock your game.
Oh,
so
really?
I found that out. Yep, I found that out in a run. Unfortunately.
You know, I actually lost a ton of time in one of my earlier runs because I didn't have 10 sickles that came back in alley. So I actually had to talk to Hagrid to get 10 sickles.
That's good to know. I've never had that happen to me, so that's good to know if, for whatever reason that happens to me at some point.
I was a very poor boy that day. animation of the random collections is so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool to see.
If only a crit against the big rat. Well, no, actually, according to general crit standards, it probably wouldn't have killed even with that at 99.
Yeah, I the very first time that I did this fight with the new route, I did get a crit on the big rat, and it was 199 damage, and he has 200 health. So maybe there's a crit that does enough damage. I'm not sure, but it's very, very unlikely for that to.
Well, I
ever
don't know
happen,
what absolute max damage is normally. If absolute max is 100, yeah, you can get a 200 crit.
That was a little swag movement right there as
Perfect.
well. We're walking through walls.
If you don't get swag movement, it can't possibly be a PB.
Well, I don't think this one's possibly going to be PB anyway, so we're okay.
Not just solidified first try lighting and keeping it the rest of the run.
Let's hope.
Actually, no, that'll actually have some major complications with like viewership if you get that to happen. Have you ever?
No, we don't want.
Have you ever had lighting last the whole rest of the run?
Yeah. Oh, several times. Yeah. My PB had. Oh no, my PB doesn't have it currently. The PB before that did. Because my PB currently is with the new route, so it saved a bunch of time. But I did have to do lighting multiple times. So
it's crazy when you actually have it. I actually have a video of it on my Twitch about how, the title for it is "This game is so broken."
Yeah, it is. It is.
This nighttime segment always bothers me, and there's a very specific reason why it does. On the way down, you cannot hit a single encounter. It is impossible, and at least on the ground floors of it. But when you're coming back up, of course you can hit them because why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. It's nice. It's like a little breather because you know it's basically whenever the castle's dark, encounters can be on the ground floors, and that's the only segment that for whatever reason it doesn't do that. But then right after we encounter a cutscene up ahead, the encounters will start popping up.
You also notice he walked up left when he entered the trophy room. That actually skips a line of dialogue.
Yep, skips the line of dialogue, and then we kind of circumvent the room in that particular way because it skips a long cutscene with Filch.
Oh yeah, perfect swag walk in that room. Even though that's actually not in your control, that's just the game being the game.
Yeah, I don't know why that one occurs, but it just happens sometimes.
It's the same thing in HP2 where it happens during the Death Day party leaving. So.
So we really do not want to hit an encounter here. It doesn't ruin the run or anything, but it really slows us down because we do have to have a victory for our last encounter for the next skip to work. So if we hit an encounter, we're going to have to kill it, and it can take some time. As of right now, the last encounter that we hit was for History of Magic, which we defeated those rats. So otherwise, we're good.
Let me actually correct your statement on that. It has to be a win.
Oh, sure.
But it also cannot be a duplicated win.
Ah, okay.
It has to be just a normal
clarification.
Win. A duplicated win still soft locks as well.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Well, because we actually had to duplicate that fight back, a few years ago. So, yeah, that's an important thing to know if you ever do no frog %.
Good to know. All right. Luckily, we got lucky there. No encounters, so worked out in our favor.
Yeah, this section actually has 2 skips, which is the first one is pixel perfect, but it's not that hard to notice. Like as long as you understand what a trapezoid looks like, you should pretty much know what's going on.
Yeah. Not too hard. I actually I typically sometimes will miss the first one, but the second one is the one I have an easier time with. Weirdly, that's the opposite from what I've heard. But I will more often miss the Snape skip and then get the troll skip.
So the thing that annoys me the most is in my 2015 when No Frog was still a thing, the only skip I did not get was troll skip. I got everything else. Troll skip was the only thing I missed. It's the skip I had always gotten until that run. it was the only skip I'd always gotten.
Oops.
Every run I got to that point.
Hold on. I messed myself up here. Let's see. Almost. There we go. That got it. Took my sweet time there.
Yeah.
But we got the skip. That's the important part. And we're gonna save here, just in case.
Yeah. So fortunately for Troll Skip, you can actually save and reset and still actually be able to get the skip.
There we go. We got it.
This one's weird because you actually have to go to your equipment menu, and I've never actually understood why we have to do that. If you just pause and unpause, it soft locks the game.
Yeah, so basically what we've done here is we skipped like a 20-second or so cutscene with Snape limping out of a room, and then the troll coming into the bathroom to terrorize Hermione. And then that was the first skip we did, and then the second skip skips the troll fight altogether. So that classic troll in the bathroom fight is not happening, unfortunately.
And another thing to note is if you're too far left on that trigger, you actually soft lock the game. You have to have Hermione. You have to be able to see Hermione on screen when she's walking.
That's why I go right a little bit.
That's why
I go right a little bit. Yeah, for that, so we don't soft lock the game, of course. But two, I have a better visual marker there. I just line up with like one of the tiles.
Yeah.
Which makes it a little bit easier for me to do. So that was convenient in that regard.
Yeah. So you actually have the lines that you walk as well. That's good to know. Not the only one that has imaginary lines that they see on the screen.
Oh yeah, that's how I learned these skips. Yeah, I have to. I'm a very visual person in that regard. I got to see it. I gotta find a mark and get to it.
Let's see, this section's coming. It's not chickens yet, is it?
Yeah. No, we got Christmas first,
yeah,
and Mirror Bear said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, right, I'm like 20 minutes ahead in my head. Anyway.
In your defense, we do walk to Hagrid's like 6 times in this game, or if not more. So.
But yeah, so Christmas is it's a little bit of a breather, but we can still hit encounters. It's just really annoying.
Yeah.
Wish this was skippable as well.
Yeah, unfortunately it is not. Yet.
Also, a thing, when
didn't.
you're leaving the common room, you'll see that you actually get that that dialogue for the paper peeps saying, "Hey, I have your stuff." You can actually skip that on the way, but when you get back in, you hit it anyway, so it doesn't really matter if you skip it on the way out.
Yeah, we used to think there would be potential to save a text box there, but nope. Regardless, afterwards, in which we solved the issue that Peeves has set for us, which is basically they stole our Christmas presents, and he leaves a note taunting us that he stole our Christmas presents. Even though we've already gotten them back, we still have to read a note that taunts us that they're lost. So. And
then we get caught by Filch and get taken down to the first floor, so we have to walk all the way up the castle. Of course. Despite watching runs constantly this week to get stuff down for memorization of this, I'm still have HP2 route in my head.
Yeah, the castle layout seems to be very different. I haven't looked at it too much yet, but it seems to be different. That's going to be a culture shock for me when I pick that game up.
The game is like such a smaller map.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll digress. I'll quit talking about Chamber Secrets. Let's just talk about the good old days with the boys.
Yeah, yep. The good old days. Better graphics too, it seems like. But yeah, this is actually be another great time because we have a substantial cutscene here. If we want to jump in and announce any updates on donation incentives or anything like that.
Well, I don't have any donations, but I want to thank ESA for supporting the event, and I also want to thank them for allowing us to stream on their channel. For information about their upcoming events and any changes due to the COVID-19 outbreak, be sure to check out esamarathon.com. And most of the time we are streaming this event from the Netherlands, but if you are from the UK and you would like to attend an event similar to BSG, we highly recommend checking out UKSG. UKSG is an event in Glasgow running 4 times a year for young minds.
Yeah, beautiful. Absolutely. Can't echo that more. I got the privilege to run at ESA Winter this past winter in February. It was amazing. I've been watching ESA for quite some time. Incredible staff, incredible people I met there. I couldn't have been happier to be there. It was kind of emotional for me to be there, honestly, and it was a great time. I was glad to have the privilege to be able to be there, and hopefully after all this craziness in the world settles down, I would love to come back, or just to see those events happen again will be a wonderful sight. Oops. So in the cutscene that we were talking during there, we obviously get our invisibility cloak, which is what we're wearing now, not just Icy Harry or whatever you want to call it. But then we're sneaking down to the restricted section, and then basically back up to Gryffindor with a little detour.
I was thinking for a second, I didn't need GBC, and I remember we still have Devil's Snare.
Yeah, we still have Devil's Snare.
Because we used to use it for chickens, but we don't need it anymore for chickens.
No, and we use it for the end fights with Quirrell and Voldemort too.
But I was thinking, oh well, we can just get Wembley instead. Or Mortiz instead. That way, it's only 30 magic instead of 60. But
yeah, Devil's Snare is the only multi-hit enemy that we have to use it for now, which is a multi-enemy.
And unfortunately, Rain of Blood only does 1 damage to everything. If it did its normal damage, then we wouldn't have to have Perseverus Vitalis. We could just have
But not yet. They're particular to fire damage, so we gotta stick with the Incendios and Paralyzing.
Crazy to think that even though we have this new route, Hayden's route with the old route from 4 years ago is still standing 25 seconds. Yeah,
still standing. I was actually talking with him today a little bit because he wanted to know about the changes to the route. So I think we might be seeing him come back soon too, which would be cool.
Oh boy. This means I might have to put my hat in the ring, huh?
That's good. More people running, the better.
I can't have.
Maybe we can do races.
I can't have him taking everything over again.
But yeah, that'd be cool. I'd love to do some races of this game or something. Things that are get the community up and moving. It's like we said, it's a long-standing record. So any changes that happen are kind of very exciting.
All right.
In my opinion. So
now we're going to chickens.
Now we are going to chickens. Yes. We go to Hagrid's 3 different times in this one little segment alone. In the first one, we're going to be dealing with some chickens.
So, these fights are crazy fast compared to what they used to be. Crazy fast. They used to be the bane of existence, and they can actually still be the bane of existence for runners. Because hopefully we won't see it. The chickens can crash the game. Because this game is, as I said previously, not at all broken.
Jumped ahead of the game, tried to get right to the chickens without talking to Hagrid about it first.
We'll just go kill him.
Yeah. I already know what I need to do, Hagrid. Why do we have to talk about it?
And unfortunately, one of the things that sucks is we can't actually duplicate chicken fights to get them there. We actually have to physically fight chickens 5 times.
Yep, and so what basically is happening story-wise is that is Norbert, that is Hagrid's dragon. It is born, and Norbert is hungry, and Norbert likes chickens. And so what we have to do is get 5 chickens, and you'll notice that when we fight the chickens, there are 3 per fight, which you would say, oh great, so you just have to do 2 encounters worth of chickens to get your 5 chickens. But unfortunately, that is not the case, because each encounter of 3 chickens only gives you 1 chicken, one chicken as a reward. I accidentally cast a spell on one instead of using Rain of Bludgers.
Just make sure you save for every single one in case the crash does happen.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
So... Vermouth is actually what we used to do.
Yeah.
Before we found
Went too fast. Oops, I forgot to save for this one. Hopefully it's fine. Even if it's not, it's only 1.
Hey, you got a 200 crit there.
Yeah. Absolutely useless, but that's okay.
It only kills 8 of them.
Yeah.
Chickens only have 25 health. So it's a bit excessive to kill them as strongly as possible, like this. But it takes all them out at one time. Funnily enough, whenever I do Flippendo %, I can actually kill them all with Flippendo Tria.
Yeah, there you go. That'll be one thing that'll be somewhat normal, at least in that run.
That whole run's normal, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah, of course.
Only true passionate runners of this game.
Only true passionate runners, that's right. I'm a fraud.
If you want to sit down and dedicate like 5 hours of your life, or possibly a whole day of your life running this game, Flipping 2% is the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
You have really not.
All right, so
you have not been saving for these fights. And I suggest.
I've been saving every 2. I usually save every 2 because even if it crashed after 1, then I could go back 1 chicken fight. That's fine.
That is what I used to do. Save after every 2. That's so weird. So you just like follow what I do?
Hey, well, I had to learn from someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All right, this is the last chicken though. Luckily, yeah, this new glitch, which allows us to use this Rain of Bludgers thing, card combo rather. Basically, it saves us. I think it's like 25 to 27 seconds in these fights alone.
Yeah.
In these chicken fights, and then it has some more optimizations as we go around. I'm finding when I'm doing runs that this new tech is probably saving on average about 45 seconds.
Yeah. So it's worth the 10 seconds to go out of the way to get it.
Yeah,
get the card combo.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love how the dialogue box is so long after you use the bludgers, it actually covers up the grease space.
Yeah, it stretches out the text for some reason. Like the text is longer whenever you use a card combo. I don't like longer across the screen. I don't know, like more space. It's weird. This game is very strange.
But that's okay, because we love it and as in its non-broken self.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait, it'll get way more broken in just a little bit though.
Yeah, all kinds of tricks to make it work, but this one not so much. This is just another walk down to Hagrid's house plus an auto scroller. So
yes, we have to go see.
Not too much.
We have to see Hagrid tons of times in this run. First, we have to see him when we first start the game. Then we have to see him like I don't know, like 9 or 10 times.
Yeah, it's quite a bunch. Which is too bad that he's not as beautiful as the PS1 version of Hagrid.
PS1 Hagrid.
You know, we make we make do with what we have.
PS1 Hagrid is artistic. Like I can't even find the word for it. I think it's artistic beauty. There we go. That's what I'm going for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Belongs in a museum.
It's like a Van Gogh painting.
Or a Picasso painting.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Picasso's definitely better. Because of Cubism.
Yeah. Alright, so it's another flying minigame here, very similar to the one that we do with Malfoy and the trees earlier on in the run. This one is much more forgiving. One, because there's usually only between 1 and 2 fireballs on a screen at once. And 2, because Norbert is going to have a little speed boost here for no reason, really. Therefore, it means you can't catch it. You can't catch Norbert until after the speed boost is over anyway. Yeah. So you can probably take a fireball or 2 and not lose time at all.
You can take up 3. You can take 3 before you start losing time.
But yeah, we catch Norbert, and then that's the end of that.
Now we're getting to the fun part of the run.
Fun, yeah.
Very italicized quotation marks. So I'll actually start talking about this, and we'll actually, get to see it in action, hopefully. So,
yep.
The trick coming up is probably the worst part of the whole run. It literally will kill. It'll kill like 95% of the runs that get this far, and you'll see exactly why it's actually so cool when it actually works, but it's so annoying when it doesn't. So this has been deemed called lighting. It was found by me 4 years ago, and so what happens is we will die on purpose. We'll die on purpose in Haggard's Hut. Once we pick up Norbert, you'll see that we'll actually get to Haggard's Hut, because we keep hitting encounters here. But
yeah,
this is snipes. It's the snipes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it's the troll, or the DADA boss troll.
Yeah.
But I'll elaborate more on the lighting when we actually do the trick, because I actually want to talk about how funny it is.
Yeah, and what I'm gonna do as well is I'm gonna do it on a soft reset and hope for the best. But if it doesn't work the first time, I'm gonna hard reset and try it from there.
Do you have the flow counter going, or are you just gonna?
Yeah, we've actually determined that the flow timer isn't usful anymore.
Oh, perfect. See, now we have no basis for anything. That's how you know this trick is fantastic. You're welcome.
Because we need to know specific frames, but the flow timer doesn't count as to specific frames.
All right, so
it can, but not the way we used it before.
All right, so we're gonna save.
So we're
gonna save and reset here. It's about like a 15 to 18 second. I forget if it's 15 or 18 seconds for a soft reset. When we reload the file, we're actually going to use a card combo. And what this is going to do is going to bring up a glitch fight. We're going to be fighting against 3 Harrys. And yeah, don't use Rain of Bludges because that'll kill them. So
yeah, we found that out the hard way.
So we cast this, and luckily here, we just take damage out of absolute nowhere. What this does is we die. When we die, we get teleported up to the 4th floor infirmary. But you'll have to see that the castle is lit, even though we're under the invisibility cloak. So what happens is when we die, the color palette, or the background palette of Haggard's Hut goes with us to the castle, which means we can't hit any encounters in the castle until we go into an area that actually can spawn it. Which we'll be going to in just a second. We'll be performing another skip right here. We're performing Malfoy skip. We just edge our way into the alleyway and we hit an encounter coming up.
Yeah, what a joke.
We actually don't want to hit a single encounter the rest of the run once we get lighting. But unfortunately we hit it. If we keep lighting through the entire rest of the run, we can do it 2 more times to progress even quicker. Because technically we can do it 4 times. We could actually dupe it on the way down to go to Norbert. But if you get it, only if you get it first try will actually save you time. Just so you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm aware of that. I know, but yeah, it's a risk, and I don't like resetting at lighting anyways, and I don't want to make it even less likely to happen.
If you get it first try, it saves 2 seconds.
Yeah, so 2 seconds. Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, unfortunately we hit an encounter, so what SMP was saying before, if we hit 0 encounters, that's great, because we don't have to save and reset at all to activate the glitch. It's still stored in our backlog of past encounters, because essentially what has to happen is that we have to have a defeat, which is very hard, because we're so high level, so we can't just like hit an enemy.
We're max level.
We're max level with 800 health almost, so it's not super simple to just hit an enemy and then hope that they take us out. You know, it's not gonna be fast. So we want to have that stored in our background so we don't have to keep saving and resetting to activate the glitch. However, we did hit an encounter, so after we complete our Forbidden Forest detention segment, we're going to go back into Hagrid's hut and we're going to attempt to do it again.
There's actually only 2 fights in this game at this level that could kill us really quickly, and they're the final 2 fights in the run, so... Coral can kill you with, you know, when the crit, 2 and kill you. Voldemort, 2 crits will kill you, so... You would think that, you know, you're such a high level, you're max level, level 99, you'll go into the final boss and just sweep right through it. Now, he can still kill you very easily. Like, even when if you, like, max out your stats, you have all the best equipment, he'll still be able to kill you, no problem.
Important note here as well, just to piggyback on the lighting thing as well. So this is detention. If you've watched the movie or read the book, what is happening is we're getting ready to go in the Forbidden Forest and we're gonna find Voldemort and the Unicorn and all that. So it's supposed to be dark right now, but we're outside and it's bright as day.
Oh yeah.
So the glitch is still activated, even though we hit an encounter there. It doesn't ruin the glitch; it just makes it so that we can't use it again. So it's still active. You'll notice when we go into forest, it goes dark, and then when we exit after, it will be dark outside again because it palette swapped back to regular.
Yeah, I actually much prefer this version of Forbidden Forest over the one in HP2.
That's interesting.
Because I like the music better.
Okay, I was gonna say the music because I hate it. So I hate. And this is one of my least favorite parts of the run because it ruins so many things.
But also, we have to make sure we get the swag movement. That's very important.
Yeah, swag movement, and that comes from getting a potion from that tree, which kind of goes back to SMP's point. That's actually, we use that because most of the time we're going to be running low of magic power by the time we get to our last 2 fights. So that will actually give us some extra magic power because those fights aren't entirely safe.
No, they're not. Because Coral can actually stun you.
He can stun you. Yeah, a lot of you can get poisoned. So you'll see what we do. We use a poison stack basically to defeat the last Quirrell and Voldemort faster, which we'll talk a little bit more about when we get there. But they can poison you as well. So when you poison stack them and use a glitch to keep duplicating that damage, it also duplicates damage onto you. So
but fortunately, you have more health than they do. So
yeah, that's the good part.
Because Quirrell only has 450 health. So his 1 stack versus your 1 stack, he'll die first. But we gotta wait for the finale on that one.
Yep, we'll get more into that when we get there.
So Forbidden Forest is a very annoying part of the run. While it does have music, that's like the only redeeming quality it has. But in the grand scheme of Forbidden Forest, this is actually where a lot of runs will lose a ton of time because while it is wide open, you will get sniped a ton by encounters. Just even though there's gigantic amount of room, they will still somehow just spawn right in front of you, and it doesn't make any sense.
It just happened to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense as to why it does that. It just does. So we're trying to be a little more cautious with our movement, but being cautious doesn't always equal to getting perfect results, as you're seeing.
Yeah, and even if you can still be the most cautious person when it comes to this or like the beginning with the hitting encounters after the first boss. But sometimes, even at your most cautious, the game will still snipe you. So it doesn't really help too much to be cautious. You might as well just go for it and hope for the best.
Now, if you want to watch cautious, you need to watch the world record for this run. It is the most cautious run you will see at the end of the run. It is insane. And that's how I'm still wondering, how is this run still world record? And I guess it's just because everybody else is like, we're just going to go for it, and they hit encounters, and that loses us lighting. So...
yeah. I'm somewhat of a blend, so I know that we have to move a little bit faster here, but you're going to notice a lot of times, I do this a lot in the run too, and I'm sure a lot of other runners do the same. I will hug the top walls a lot of things like this. That is because if you notice, it's going to shrink our hitbox. There's a very, very tiny part of the area in front of me that an encounter can hit me if I'm hugging the top wall, because most of my body is in the scenery at that point.
And Harry has a gigantic hitbox, and it's like his whole sprite, including his head, can hit encounters, whereas the Z actually does not count towards the sprite for some reason.
Yeah, his feet don't count, and then even so, like I can walk. That one was really close, and I thought maybe that one was gonna hit me just there. But I wanted to show off that how small my hitbox is now when we hug that top wall, because it is really, really tiny.
Yeah. And then you get encounters like that where they literally just pop as soon as you walk into the room, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, sometimes you don't even see the fog at all. It's just like, oh, okay, I guess there's an encounter here. Yeah. Terrific.
One of the things that's very different from me and other runners is I literally just don't care, and I just go. If I hit an encounter, I'm going to hit an encounter, but I'm trying to be as fast as possible, not as cautious as possible. Alright, so now that we're out of forest, we're going for lighting again. Super annoying. Are you doing that?
I'm gonna do it soft first.
Okay.
Again.
So this is the lighting at its absolute finest.
Yeah, if soft reset doesn't work, I'll do hard reset. That seems to be a bit more consistent. Yeah, there we go. That's the frustration we usually see.
So if we don't get it, you'll see Harry cast a spell at the top, but it doesn't really, like, it doesn't do anything. It actually just pushes you in a soft lock state, and you just stay there forever until you reset the game. And of course, that's not what we want to see. We want to see us take a random damage. If we get hit with
even 0 damage will work.
No health. So there is a thing you can cast. I forget what it is, but it actually can give you 1 health point. And if you get hit with 0, then you actually get soft locked anyway. It's nausea. Nausea gives you 1 health point, and so if you take 0 damage, it's the same thing as Harry casting a spell. It just soft locks you. So this is the kind of, you're seeing firsthand the frustrations of the run. So.
Yeah, most of the time, if we're getting this many failures of lighting, this is a reset, and then we'll try it again from the beginning and hope for the best.
Do you have a save after this, or are you just gonna like wing it?
I'm gonna give it a few more attempts. If anything, I'll just walk of shame it all the way back.
That's probably
it only adds a couple minutes. Yeah.
I'd say like 1 or 2 more times.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, like I said, there's not a ton of tricks that will absolutely make this run not be able to progress, but there are things like this that will really slow you down if they don't work. The point being, if this glitch doesn't work, that's fine. I can still continue the run, but I'm gonna have to walk all the way back.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be awful slow.
And who wants to walk when you can die instead?
Exactly. Exactly.
Like at this point in time, we could have already walked back up to.
Yep. Last try, and then we'll walk of shame.
Actually, funnily enough, in my last defecta, I didn't want to talk to McGonagall so much, I actually died out in the field.
There you go.
But that was also when I had like 100 health. Instead of it was to the 700 that we have right now, almost 8.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. Alright, well, we're gonna walk of shame.
No. Well,
that's alright.
That sucks. I always thought whichever Harry the snitch hit actually mattered, but it turns out that does not matter either.
Nope, it doesn't.
Every time...
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, because every time for me that it worked, it hit the bottom one for the longest time. It hit in the other one, it didn't work. And then I had a run where it hit the bottom one and didn't work. So I was like, well...
Yeah. And the reason why that trick is also so inconsistent as well. So basically what's happening there is we're fighting 3 copies of ourselves. You can see that on the screen very easily, obviously. And because we're fighting 3 copies of ourselves, all of our speeds are equal. So basically, it becomes a toss-up as to which of the Harrys is going to get to go first, us or any one of the other three. So we basically have a 1 in 4 chance for it to happen to us. So it's a 25% chance to work on any given moment, pretty much.
Yeah, and it worked 25% of the time, 0% of the time, so...
Yeah. 25% is really 0, yeah.
And that is where pretty much if you're gonna lose a run, you're gonna lose it there an hour into the run. So, I mean,
the bright side is that we get to try to set it up one more time.
One more time.
See if that works. One more time.
You are.
I never really have to set it up here.
Yeah,
so
you are quite literally you are your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
That's how you know. That's
that's a good way of putting it.
That's how you know it's a good speedrun. It's when you try to kill your own self. Because that's just the cool part. The fun part is if you do get lighting, the whole school is lit up. But when you come in the common room, Hermione and Ron will have their dark color sprites, so it actually looks off.
So basically, there's going to be one more Death Warp in the run, which will be from Gryffindor down to where Fluffy is. If we had hit lighting after all of those attempts, we would, especially since I didn't hit an encounter there, we would have been able to just activate it from the Gryffindor common room and Death Warp right away, which is usually what happens. Even if we have to activate lighting a second time, I don't usually have to activate it a third time.
You know what I
I
find funny is actually the Forbidden Forest encounters don't scare me much as that small span does for getting encounters when you have lighting active. Like that scares me way more than Forbidden Forest, because like Forbidden Forest you could just kind of know that you're probably going to hit one and you just go with the flow, and so you're like surprised when you don't hit one, but when you do, it's kind of like normal.
Yep, exactly.
But when you hit one it's like, it's soul crushing. It's so soul crushing because you might as well just reset your run right there.
Yep, because even if you have to set it up again, that's okay. You're gonna lose at least 25 seconds. But the worst part is if it fails when you set it up for the third time, it's only really worth trying once, or else it's. If
you fail it,
you just might as well walk at that point.
Yeah, if you fail it, you get 2 tries at it. If you fail it the second time, then you lost time. So we'll do it 2 times here. I'll remind you again, even though you've done a good job of not using it. Don't use Rain of Bludgers.
Don't use Rain of Bludgers, yeah. That's one thing I've been able to do.
I'm just making sure. So, because if you do use Rain of Bludgers for everybody, if you do actually use that, you actually kill all the Harrys, then that's a win for you, which does not help you at all, actually. You gain nothing. No experience, no sickles, you just win.
Yep, no benefit.
Though it is funny to watch, I will give it that. I will give it as entertainment. It's just not entertainment for the run.
Come on. Nope. Alright, didn't want to give it to us.
Wow, this is horrible.
So we will walk of shame it again.
This is horrible, dude.
Yeah, this is very bad luck, unfortunately, but that's why the estimate is as high as it is.
It's actually kind of fun. We get it first time. The first time we get it first try, and then we just can't get it ever again. It's like
only different in the way that instead of warping us to the hospital wing, which the other 2 would have, this one warps us directly to the door where we enter and encounter Fluffy and begin the end game sequence. So that's why it's worth it. It takes you right to where you need to go. But if you fail it 2 times like I did, it's no longer worth it. You're losing time just to try it again. So now we get to walk of shame again, all the way back down.
So it's it really sucks. Though on the way down, you can actually skip the dialogue for going into the dialogue box going into the doorway.
Oh, that's good to know.
But of course, if you were super close to it,
Never in this situation.
you'd never be able to get in the situation.
Yeah.
But it's actually cool.
Oh.
So we just put Fluffy to sleep, and then bam, double snare.
Alright, so here we're going to use some paralyzation. And then we're going to take out the smaller enemies first. If the big one wakes up, we got to paralyze it again.
Yeah. So,
which of course it does, so
how this fight used to work is we would paralyze everything, and then we'd poison every single branch. Now that we're, max level, we just paralyze everything and then kill everything individually.
oh, there's the crit.
The reason why poisoning everything isn't efficient is because the poison spell costs 80 magic, a super absurd amount of magic to poison something. But it's only 10 in HP 2.
Yeah, it's just unnecessarily expensive.
And
so we try. Yeah.
I wish we could skip this game, this minigame.
This is my least favorite minigame for sure.
Funnily enough,
it used to be the potions minigame, but it is now this one.
If you actually pause on the trigger for this and go into one of the menus, you actually can skip through that text faster.
Oh,
instead of the traditional 21 frames, it's actually only 8. So it saves you half a second.
Oh, hey. Time saves are time saves. But that actually was not terrible of a little keys segment there. It's not that wasn't the worst.
My favorite part about that is whenever Harry grabs the key, his sprite becomes in or something, and he grabs it.
Yeah. It turns into like a Minecraft character, it seems like.
So chess pieces. I love chess, mainly because I was able to just completely just one day. Greatest thing ever.
Yeah, that was fun.
But traditionally, these fights are pretty straightforward. Poisoning is actually slower, but we actually are to use the magic efficiently at the lower levels because we level up after every single fight. Since we're magical, we obviously can't level up anymore, so we actually have to heal our magic. They're on in here.
Yep, and I was just about to say too, what we're looking for here is to get crits in order for these fights to go a little bit faster, which we did just get on the castle piece there. That fight usually takes 3 turns, we got it in 2 because of that crit, so that does save us a little bit of time.
Not just time, but actually a little bit of
magic too. Though it only saves us 2 magic, because the third spell we use there is Vermilius, because it'll kill.
So. Really?
Yeah, so it saves us 2 magic points though, but more and some time, so that's good.
Yeah, it does.
And then this one, we flipendo until it's dead. Usually, we hope for crits, but no magic save this time because we're using a 0-cost spell anyway.
This is the fight for flipendo right here. Flipendo percent, I actually just used to go over and over.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so chess isn't difficult in No Frog either, really.
Oops, there we go.
But now we're coming to another fun minigame, which, if you understand kind of how it works, it's not that difficult, honestly. The potions minigame isn't that difficult once you understand how it works. But we save here just to be safe.
Oops. There we go.
Oh, you're doing the hidden trick. You do that. Yeah. You do the minigame a lot faster than I do.
Oh, thank you. It's good to know I do something right. But yeah, that's a safety save only because if you fail that potion minigame, you might think, oh, big deal, try again, right? You fail that potion minigame, you have to go all the way back to Fluffy.
Yep. You have to restart the whole final 6 again.
Yeah, you have to do this whole gauntlet in one shot, basically. So if you fail at any point or die at any point, you have to reset and do the whole thing again.
The Quirrell fight's very interesting. Since we're not at full health, he technically can't kill us unless we just get really lucky or draw. Oh no, wait, 427. I don't know. Luckily we can stun him, but 427 health, he could actually kill us in 2 turns.
Not for long.
But what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our excessive amount of magic and poison him 3 times. I would heal. Yeah. Did you heal your magic? Okay. Cool.
That's next. I did health first, and now I'm doing magic.
Oh, then you dropped the chain. Nice.
Well, I didn't want to drop the chain, but if I had to, then I might as well use some potions. I try to. I mean. Sometimes there's a breakout in the chain there. I'm not the best at maintaining it even when they break out of the chain. It's tough. It becomes a little bit more frame strict when they break out of the paralyzation.
It's just a little more lag. It's not necessarily frame strict. It's just that there's extra lag frames because of their movement.
Correct, yeah.
But all we do here is we poison them 3 times. Poison stacks in this. So it goes from 20 to 3 to 40. And this is how the game's gonna end, very anticlimactically. We're just gonna make him purple. That's it.
Yep.
But a good thing to note, because we did actually get the Draco skip, we win the House Cup automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very important in a speedrun too.
And time. So that's the end there. Yeah, so typically there can be a little bit up in the air, weirdly, that you might still do all of this, get your cheater points from Dumbledore, where he gives points to Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville, all separately, and you could still lose the House Cup. That only will happen if you miss the Draco skip. So we're guaranteed to win it here because the point values are kind of set. But we win the House Cup, and then that's the end of the run.
You could have died.
Yeah, I came close, which is why I had the safety save there. So
you had to put it there for everybody to go, oh no.
Yeah, hey, I might as well create a little bit of suspense while we can. So
yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much a very unlucky run of this in terms of hitting lighting and encounters and stuff like that. But even so, we were still under the estimate there, so that was great. If I could just obviously I'd like to thank S&P here for providing some excellent commentary for us.
Yeah.
I'd like to plug our Harry Potter speedrunning handheld Discord. It's actually separate from the console version. And we're a very active community there in terms of it's listed all of the Harry Potter games 1 through 7 part 2. Very great. Yeah. Very great community, very welcoming, and very supportive of each other too. You'll see we pop in each other's streams all the time as we can. Wanted to thank BSG and ESA for giving this run a chance. It's a very unique run. It's a very interesting run, and it's a very broken run. It's a really cool game. Can't suggest more that people should run it. And if you really like it, it will be featured in another marathon tomorrow. So if you want to come check out Game Over Cancer, I'll be playing it there too.
And I will more than likely be there commentating.
Yeah, I'm kind of on tour with this game at the moment, so playing it all over the place. But thank you guys so much for having us, and that's our time. Thank you.
Bye.